Hi, good evening to all. Welcome to grade 8 class. So, today, as we said, we'll be starting the new topic, that is fractions. So, by studying this lesson, what are we going to expect? What things we'll be expecting here today on today's lessons are what we will see is types of fractions. What are the types of fractions we will be discussing here, and also improper fractions to a mixed fraction, how to convert that, and then representing a mixed number as an improper fraction, and also representing an improper fraction as a mixed number. Moreover, we will be seeing today a comparison of unit fractions. Some of the things that we will be seeing are listed here. Mostly these are from grade 6. It is starting with one thing is unit fractions, and unit fraction means what, proper fractions means what, and improper fractions are what, and mixed fractions are what. These are the things that we'll be looking ahead. We have learned from grade 6 is one is proper fraction. What is proper fraction? Can we tell? What is proper fraction? Can we tell?
The numerator will be smaller than the denominator.
Right, correct. That's the thing. That's a definition for a proper fraction. So if you take 2 by 5 here, this is an example for a proper fraction, right? This is a numerator. What you get on top is numerator, and down is denominator. What you get down here is the denominator. Proper fraction means the numerator is smaller than the denominator. This is the meaning of proper fraction. 8 by 2. What it is? Is it a
improper fraction, sir?
Right, improper fraction, because numerator is bigger here. Numerator should be smaller than the denominator. That's the proper fraction means, right? So you have done that. Mixed numbers or improper fractions. If you take this one, 7/5, we tell is a improper fraction, correct? Improper fraction. Why? Because the numerator is bigger than the denominator, right? That's the idea. If you take the numerator is bigger than the denominator is small than the numerator. This is we call as a mixed fractions, correct? Mixed fraction, right? Mixed fraction, clear. Right, how we get this same thing, I have just changed this one, 7 by 5, I change into mixed fraction. How we get this one from improper fraction to mixed fraction? How we obtain that? What's the way for that? The way we can get this a mixed fraction from improper fraction, just division, simple as that. If you want to find out this one, this is the improper fraction, right? Improper fraction we have. So improper fraction to be changed into mixed fraction means you will divide that. Now 7 divide by 5, right? That's what we want to do, right? Divide by 5. 7 is up, that has to be divided by 5. Divide that by 5, right? One time. So 5 into 1 is 5, right? 2 is remainder. So a quotient is this one, right? Correct. These things you might have learned. This is we call quotient, correct? Quotient, right? Quotient. And then we call this guy as what? This is quotient. This is remainder, right? This is the remaining thing, no? So this is the remainder. Now if you divide 7 by 5, right? 7 minus 5 is 2, and 1, if you divide 7 by 1 times, so 5, remaining is 2. So can we divide further by 5? Because 2 is smaller than 5. So after this we can't divide. So this is we call the remainder, right? This we call remainder. This is we call the quotient. This is there from grade 6, right? Just names. Just names. You should know the names of this quotient, remainder. Can you just try this one? That means, okay, 8 by 3. This one, what will be the answer? If I change this to a mixed fraction, how do we do this? 8 by 3, I want to change this into mixed fraction. This is, what type of fraction is this? This is a improper fraction. Why it is improper fraction? The numerator is bigger, right? Numerator is bigger than the denominator. Then we call it a improper fraction. We can change this to a mixed fraction like this, right? Can we try and get the answer for this? 8 by 3 means how we get a mixed fraction? 8 divided by 3, right? That's how we divide, correct? 8 divided by 3. So how many times 3 are there in 8? Is 2 times, correct? It's only 2 times we will have, so 2 times. So 2 into 3 is 6, right? 6, we can write 2 into 3 is 6, right? The answer is going to be 8 minus 6 is 2. This is, we called it as remainder, right? Remainder. This is the quotient, right? This is the number that we use for dividing, right? Now, if you have a question, how I'm going to write like this, how I'm going to write like this one, I want to put this way, right? I want to put this way, because it's always like confusing after getting such an answer. You know to divide, I'm sure you know to divide, but how to put that into a mixed fraction, how to put that there will be a question, right? This guy, the divider, is always he and this, the remainder, the divider and the remainder, the divider and the remainder will be the small fractions, right? So answer is going to be, right, which one we are dividing by? It's going to be 3, remaining is 2, right? Remaining is 2. And what is a quotient here is 2, right? Since we got this 2 times, maybe sometimes you feel like odd and difficult to just comprehend, to understand. It's a little difficult if you're seeing after a while, because you may be not studying for some time, so you may have forgotten, right? So that's the reason I just reminded you, right? I'll give you another question like this, 4 and 9. First thing you find is, what type of fraction is it? Yes, it's an improper fraction. Now you divide and give me in mixed fraction. Which one I'm going to divide? 9 by 4, right? 9 is going to be divided by 4. So how am I going to write down? It's very important. So where the 9 will come, where the 4 will come is important, correct? 9 is going to be divided by 4. I know this is sometimes confusing for students. You just forget this. We have to put this 9 here, 9 there, 9. Sometimes confusing, I know. But it's very easy to remember like this. See, like this is a divider, correct? This is a divider. This is the number that you will be dividing with, okay? This is the number that has to be divided. And this is the number that you will be using to divide. So that always come outside, right? So you think this way. This is outside. The denominator is outside here. And it's easy. Right, now we'll see how many times for this one, right? How many times we will get? 2 times 4 is 8, correct? 2 times 4 is 8. So it's going to be, the remainder is going to be 1. Can we further divide? No, we can't. So now this guy will be the whole number, right? Always the quotient is the whole number, right? The number that you use to divide will be in the fraction that is remaining, and that is the denominator. Anyway, it is denominator. No, here also, if you take this one here also it's a denominator, okay, right? So it's a denominator there, and remaining guy is this one, so remaining is this one. So that's all you have to remember. So that way you will put, so 2 by 2 and you divided by 4, the remainder is 1. This one, if you want to tell, this is 1 over 2. 2 divided into 2 and 1 by 2. Right, some examples I'm just showing you. Right, now if you take this one, if you take one part of this, one part of that will be 1 by 2. Whole one is divided by 8. 1 is this part, right? Any questions on this you can ask. This is not a serious one, it's not a difficult one. It's very simple thing. If you want to tell one part, this is how you will tell, right? These are things that you have learned, huh? And also I can cut my cake. You can name one part as this is 12 pieces divided in 12 pieces, and one of that is this one. So this is basics of fractions, right? Now if you take here also, you see, like you can say, like what is shaded are these ones, 2 divided 2, 1 over 2, here 4 times, 1 over 4, here 8 times, 1 by 8, right? Here what is remaining is 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is divided into 8, 6 is there remaining, and 7 by 8. So I can tell all these things by explaining like this. Right, now if you say how the unit fractions, you know unit fractions, okay, I'll just ask you what is unit fraction. Unit fraction, can you tell someone what is unit fraction is about?
Sir, the numerator should always be 1.
Yes, that's the one. Numerator is always 1 is called a unit fraction. All these are unit fractions. Here we have, here this is unit fraction, this is unit fraction, this is unit fraction. The numerator is 1. Numerator is 1 means we call it a unit fraction. Right, so if I'm just trying, if I want to make 3 by 5, I can make 3 1 over 5 unit fractions, right, like this. So I can take 1 over 5 unit fractions. You can make 3 over 5 like this, right? 3 by 5. Same thing like that. If you want to make 5 by 8, you can use 5 unit fractions are used. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, right? Same thing like 4 over 6, 4 by 6, you can use 4 times unit fractions like this, 1 over 6, 4 times, right? So if I take this one, right, if I take the comparisons, right, I just want some comparisons to be done. So this is also from grade 6, okay, right. Now if I ask you this one, which one is big, 1 over 3 or 1 over 4? This is comparison, okay. Unit fraction 1 over 3, unit fraction 1 over 4. Which one is bigger now?
1 over 3.
1 over 3 is bigger, right? How 1 over 3 is bigger? You can see the pizza here. You got this, the big piece, divided into 3, right? Your brother got after dividing into 4. You can see this, that is still smaller than this one. So we show that this one as 1 over 3 is, right, bigger than or greater than. See this one, always when you are using this greater and a smaller, you have to use this greater side is open mouth. See, the mouth is open, so that side. Sometimes some students get confused, which side is that, right? You know that 1 over 3 is bigger, but you may be going wrong when you are writing. So always remember that mouth is open is the greater side, right? Okay, now if I take you few more examples here, right, of these unit fractions and which is big and which is small, like you have this in your book, right? You can see that. So if I take this one, I have one whole. I have divided that into two. So one part is 1 by 2. I have divided that this same thing into 3. One part is 1 by 3, right? Same like this. I have divided into 4, divided into 6, divided into 8. So now you can see clearly which one is bigger. 1 by 2, right? If I take 1 by 2 and 1 by 3, which is bigger? 1 by 2 is bigger, right? 1 by 2 is going to be bigger. 1 by 2 is going to be greater, right? You can see it's very clearly written. Clearly, you can see that this is bigger than this one, right? So this is something that you have learned. If you take 1/3 and 1/4, which is greater? 1/3 is greater. So, right, also 1/8 and 1/6, if you are going to compare, you can say 1/6 is going to be greater. So the other side, because 1/6 is here. Smaller the number, if you take 2, 3, new denominator, bigger the fraction, right? 1/4 here, 4 here, 2, which is big. 4 is big, but this half is the bigger fraction, correct? Bigger fraction. Same thing like that. So I am talking about this one, only the denominator. If the denominator is becoming big, the fraction is going to be go down, down, down. Now find which is greater is a question, right? 1/3 and 1/4. Which is greater here?
1/3.
Yes, 1/3 is greater, right? That we saw earlier also. This is if you take this one, answer is 0.33, right? This one, if you take 1/4, is 0.25. So bigger is this one. Already we have seen 0.33 is the greater one than the 0.25, right? 1/7 and 1/9. Which is big here?
1/7.
1/7.
Yes, 1/7 is greater. That's what I was telling. This is how it's right. This side is bigger. Mouth is open here. 1/7 will be the bigger one. Now I want you to tell here 1/5 and 1/8, right? Which is now bigger here?
1/5.
Yes, 1/5, correct. So we have practiced so much. It's very simple now. 1/5 is bigger because this number is smaller, right? So that side is going to be right. So I can give you ample number of questions here asking which is big, which is small, all these things, right? If you have this one, now you see I have taken one example right here. If you take this one, the same length is divided into 5 parts, right? This shaded is 4/5. This shaded part is 4/7, right? As we know, which is going to be bigger? Now you can see this more area is shaded. More area is shaded, correct, than this one. So this area is clearly bigger. 1/5 4 times is bigger, right? Than the 1/7, this one, right? This is, I think, like you can understand this. I got earlier as unit fraction. Now here the numerators are same, but the denominators are different, right? So this one is going to be 4 times, and this one is going to be 7 times, 7, right? So 1/5 is bigger than 1/7, easily we can say. And same thing like that I can show here also. 3/4, 3/8, which is bigger. It's very clear. This is very big, clear, very clear, and it is bigger than this one, right? So 1/4 is bigger than 1/8.